Welcome to the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society. Welcome to ITSP Magazine Podcast Radio. You're about to listen to an episode of Through the TechVine. So be quiet, pay attention, and get inspired. There is one truth that is not told enough. Technology is not magic, but it can be magical. Technology is human. It is part of who we are, our evolution, our future. Will it be a dystopian or utopian one? Well, that is up to us and nobody else. Knowledge is power, now more than ever. Blue Lava is the first business platform for CISOs to manage their security program. Blue Lava guides security leaders to effectively measure, optimize, and communicate their security program with confidence and ease in one platform. Learn more at bluelava.net.
We're live. We have Santa or Monica. I don't know, who is it?
That's a beautiful view, Marco.
Making me jealous, of course.
You're invisible today. But you have, we lost him. All right.
So he tried to turn the camera and he lost the camera.
He'll be back.
So for those who are...
We got Vlad, so we got a special guest here.
We do have Vlad, I saw that. I like Vlad when Vlad shows up.
Yeah, Vlad.
He's a great contributor.
He is. He's got a lot of opinions.
That's right. And voices them regularly.
They're mostly feed me, but yeah. He's very vocal about them.
Let me out, let me in. Or you probably... Does Vlad use the tapping thing as well?
No, he doesn't, but there is one cat I follow on Instagram that uses the buttons a lot, Billy, and she seems to get mad a lot, which is, I would have expected that might be a button a cat would hit a lot, but it turns out it is. They get mad. And when she's done being mad, she hits the all done button to signify she's finished being mad, which is
Nice. Well, I don't know where Marco is, but I know where he is, but I don't know why he's not showing up here. So for those who are wondering, Marco's not in the office. He escaped for a couple hours. He's in Malibu, very near to where I used to reside, and I'd spend quite a bit of time at the park down by the beach there. So he's making me a little jealous, so you can't see it right now.
The same park where Marco is, you would hang out there.
I would, yeah.
Nice.
It's a baseball park, so I wouldn't actually probably spend much time in there. But across the road is where Pepperdine is, where I would do some of my, as an adjunct professor, I'd do some of my courses on security analytics. So I'd look down on the park from up at Pepperdine.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And did you and Marco ever meet there when you lived out there?
Not at the park.
Spot?
No.
Okay.
We would. Yeah, I'm surprised he's there. He waited for me to leave before he goes to that park.
That's what I'm thinking. As soon, well, I mean, it could be connected.
I'm sure it is. I mean, we will not know because he's not with us. So we'll just have to presume that that's the case. So here we are. We're on the TechVine, and for those listening, who have listened know that we bring tech news and explore hopefully the positive impact that the technology can have on our lives. And of course, we always take a moment to see if there are any other sides to the equation that need exploration. So I don't know. Marco always kicks it off with some what's going on, music or movies or something like that. I don't know. Anything, Diana?
That's true. So I gotta say, we got caught up in Gilded Age. We were big fans of Downton Abbey, but we saw all the ads for Gilded Age and we're like, it looks stuffy and who wants to watch it? And my friend Lisa Lee saw the first episode and she's like, you gotta watch it. So we watched the first episode, totally hooked. We got like right in. It's not stuffy. It's good old Julian Fellowes melodrama, and there's a plot they just had with shorting stocks, and which apparently, like, what insider trading was not a problem back in the 1880s, 1890s in the U.S. That it wasn't illegal yet. I don't think that they passed a lot of the SEC rules until after the Depression. So there's all this wheeling and dealing where this guy wants to build a railroad station, which I think is going to be Penn Station, and he basically tells the folks that need to vote it into law that it would be acceptable. He's like, my stock's going to go up if you vote this into law, so go ahead and buy a bunch of my stock.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Nice. That always works. Now, is that I can't remember. Is it the same people that produce this that do or did Downton Abbey? So it has some of that same kind of style and feel and tone to it.
Yeah, absolutely. That same, because Julian Fellows was the showrunner and creator of Downton Abbey, and he tells a good story. So it's got that very melodramatic, a lot of, who's doing what to who. There's an upstairs, downstairs aspect to it. And also, I mean, the sets are just absolutely incredible. The Nouveau Riche family is in Stanford White of the McKim White architecture firm building. They did I'm from Boston, and they did the McKim building in the Boston Public Library, which is just absolutely gorgeous. And the house that Julian Fellows has these rich Nouveau Riche robber barons in is that style. So, and the interiors are just off the charts. You keep sitting there looking at, trying to imagine living there. The outfits are amazing. So, and just the feel of New York City, supposedly in 1880, it's really just lush. It's lush to look at, the way that Downton Abbey was.
Nice. Yeah, I think I saw an ad for it, and it piqued my interest. So I'll definitely have to check it out, especially with the good reviews. Well, have you looked at any of the Olympic stuff? I don't know if any of that excites you or not.
Not been following the Olympics this time. How about you?
I've not been following it. I think I've caught a few things just by browsing. I've seen a few events. Nothing real exciting. I caught some of the downhill, and I don't know all the different versions of the downhill skiing. But there was one where evidently it was just really icy, and almost every other competitor like slipped and fell and didn't finish. It was pretty strange.
I was wondering about that because I had read that they had to, and that's Ed, everybody.
I know. I've seen it. Hey, Ed.
We sometimes say hi to Sean and Marco. I read that they had to manufacture all of the snow this year, and I've never I don't downhill ski, but I've seen and felt manufactured snow, and it feels very different. I don't know if it's that icy, like even like the indoor snow range, the indoor skiing in Dubai, for example, that's all manufactured. It's not like the snow that falls, the powder snow that you're used to in New England or something. It just feels very icy and very different. I don't know. Do you know if the snow that they're manufacturing, is it more like natural snow because it's outside, or is it more like that indoor manufactured snow?
So I actually have not limited, but some experience with the snow making. Because I actually, I'll say, traded IT services for ski passes at a resort near my place in California, and it was about the snowmaking machines. So they would draw water from the lake into a pump that fed all the machines, and so my connection there was I had to actually help them troubleshoot the map printing of the mountain, where all the machines were and the pumps were and the lines were, and that way they would send these huge giant maps of printouts to the maintenance crew. So they'd go and connect them and move them around where they needed to be, and they'd use these maps. So anyway, my understanding is that you can't just make snow to make snow. The conditions have to be right as well for it to be really good. And you'd think I thought naturally you'd want it close to raining or close to snowing anyway, but you actually want it very dry. very arid.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if it's, and I've skied a ton on it because obviously I did a bunch of work at the resort skiing as well.
Your page works,
That's right.
right?
My return on investment was skiing, but yeah, it felt good. But I noticed? But again, it's the environment too. Southern California, it gets sunny during the day, and even if it's not hot, it gets that nice little glassy edge on top of it, even if it doesn't completely melt into a block of ice. But so I didn't look into it, but it was weird looking at the scene of that because the whole mountainside is like dark brown, and then just tons of snow where they're doing the thing. But then there were there were some spots that actually had snow on the mountains, and you're like, why would they make snow over there unless it's just for visual aesthetics? Or wasn't part of the competition zone. It was kind of outside of it, it seemed. So
was it higher up? Maybe it was at a higher altitude, so it was natural.
I thought of that as well, but up above it, there was like a layer at one level, and then above it was not covered. Yeah. So maybe it was just blow by snow. Yeah. Aesthetics. So it's in the shot.
Yeah. And it could be blow, because we didn't realize I didn't realize till we moved to the coast that if the snow's light enough, when you live on the coast, it actually blows like sand. So we get sort of snow dunes, like sand dunes around the house in the right conditions. So maybe it just blew.
Different conditions. I know we had 2 decent storms here on the east, and one stuck like crazy to the trees, and the other one didn't.
Yeah.
So
just powdered off. Are you back, Marco?
Speaking of aesthetics, good or bad? Your choice.
I am back. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
It's really funny talking about technology. You know how everything was working and I was on my iPad before we went live. And then the moment we went live, I was hearing this voice, like, you know, when you play like a 45 at 33 vinyl that is all like slow and down. And I thought for a moment that Sean was just making a joke on us, like doing a prank. And then I realized that everything was normal except for me. So actually I pull out the computer and I pull a tethering here. So now I'm back to normal, but no idea what you're talking about. I love it. I feel completely at home for the first time. I actually have a reason for not knowing what you're talking about. But I love snow. But today, actually, I'm not.
Not much snow
outside.
behind you there.
I'm going to give you a look at where I am. I think where Sean is very familiar.
Yes.
You can see Catalina Island in the distance there.
I've made that
kind of gives away where I am.
Made that trek many times.
So, Marco, we were talking about
and there is Pepperdine in the back.
That's right.
Yeah, where Sean used to teach. There's a professor.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So you're talking about snow.
Olympics.
We're talking about Olympics and the fact they had to make the snow.
Yeah.
Which, Marco, you've skied on
have you?
Human-made snow. Like? In Big Bear. Yep.
Oh yeah. I have. The last time I skied was with you and another friend of ours, and since then I haven't. And I think it could be easily 10, 11 years since when that happened. So yeah, I miss it for sure. Wow. Yeah. Are you a skier, Diana?
I am a cross-country skier. I had the good fortune of a colleague of my father's was Norwegian. You know, he's a professor in Norway, and he had come over to the U.S. to do some work at MIT Lincoln Labs. And when I was like 9 years old, I think he taught me to cross-country ski. So I learned from a true like expert in cross-country skiing. But that's it. I can cross-country. I can do those little itty-bitty hills that you get into sometimes when you're cross-country skiing, but I am not. I've never downhilled. I'm not a snowboarder, not a downhill skier, none of that.
How about Vlad?
But that's a great... But what?
Vlad. Is Vlad ski?
Sled.
He's all about the heat.
Right.
He would like to be with Marco and the sun. He very carefully decides where he's going to be during the day. The reason he's behind me now is that the sun's hitting that part of the chair. So that's his, but he moves about the house seeking out the sun through the day.
Nice.
The hotter the better. And his fur is black, so he just becomes like a heater. He absorbs it all.
Heat magnet.
Yeah. If he lays in the sun for a minute, it would be like you touch it and it would be super hot.
Yeah, you can get a little bit of it. And he's got really interesting fur because I've had all black cats before, and they're actually kind of like dark cherry. You see them in the sun, and it's just this really, really deep dark red. But in sunlight, he's actually pretty pure black, but he's striped. He's like a tiger, but it's like one shade of black and another shade of black. And you can only see it in full sun, but he's got tiger stripes. It's it's beautiful though.
Nice.
But, yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Now you make
I don't know
me.
if you can capture that in a photo or not.
I know. Yeah, I've tried.
All right. Shall we quit rambling about?
Okay.
I mean, the cat's cool, but my stupid Olympic stuff.
No.
Let's talk about some cool tech news, Diana.
Okay.
In tradition, what's going on?
Okay, so I thought that this was really interesting. It came out of an article that I found in the New York Times that the headline was maybe there's a use for cryptocurrency after all. And I thought, that's interesting. What are they talking about? And it turns out it's about a company that was trying to make something called they were seeing it as the People's Network, which made me think look, he's got your picture up there. When it made me think about the Silicon Valley team, that TV show on HBO where they were trying to do, after they tried to do the middle out encryption, they were trying to create a completely decentralized distributed internet, and everybody would be a little piece of the internet. And that's what this company Helium is trying to do still, is that they're trying to create the People's Network, or as the great Rick Mail was, the People's Poet. But this would be that everybody has, or people who are within the network would put up routers or something like that, a router to be able to pass the signal along, a little bit like back in the days when there were BBS systems and it was expensive to call outside of your range, but you'd call to the next hop, right? And then you could actually have this very long distance network for very cheap. So this is using LoRaWAN, which is the long range radio, a wide area network, and you create the hops along, and the long range can be 5-10 miles away, but you can create a mesh that would cover the entire country with these devices. And this company tried to get everybody to get in on board and say like, hey, look, we're all going to create the People's Network, and won't this be absolutely wonderful? And after about 2 years of trying to do this really nice, wonderful, great thing, they realized that they were about to go bankrupt and go out of business. So they had a big meeting and they all got together. And apparently, as the story goes, after much festive single malt drinking or worried single malt drinking, an engineer said, well, what if we had cryptocurrency involved with this? So they've reimagined it. And now it's the same concept. It's still the People's Network. It's still, for now, it's the long range. And if you're wondering what hooks up to long range, it's not our phones or our laptops. Long range are the true IoT devices. And by true IoT, I mean things like a sensor that you would put in a refrigeration unit for a large retailer to see whether or not the meat that's being shipped in that truck is kept at the right temperature, or a tiny sensor that you'd put behind a very expensive piece of artwork to identify if that artwork has been moved or touched or is actually being stolen. So those kinds of very small, humidity sensors. So these very small sensor type things in IoT are what's on the LoRaWAN. Or a dog collar, if you want to track your dog if it gets lost, that would probably be another device that, rather than going on Wi-Fi or standard internet, they go on the LoRaWAN. So they have.
I'm sorry, Diana.
Yeah.
Laura, you said it, and I didn't catch it. Is it long range or low power or both?
It's actually both.
Okay.
So it's long range. That's the LORA, but it's also part of a protocol that's about low power. Exactly. You're exactly right, Sean.
Yeah, so I'm running all these little sensors probably don't have much in terms of power.
Yeah, exactly. So how are we going to bring this all together, have it be controlled by the people rather than controlled by, a big corporation or whatever? They got people on they said, let's try cryptocurrency. So now what you can do is if you set up one of their devices, if you set up a device, so they don't sell the devices, but they have partnered with companies, then you become part of the people's network and provide this coverage for the long range WAN. And by getting on the network and providing the coverage, instead of having proof of stake mining, they have something called proof of coverage. So your device is saying, I'm here, I'm creating coverage so that my device is providing network access and another hop along the path. So I'm part of the mesh. And then you can use that, and it's creating its own cryptocurrency, which I forget what it's worth right now. But I did read as I was studying this to see, is this real? Are people using it? Someone who on Medium, who does a Medium blog about, had like different ways to get extra money, so they're trying to, like, what are your side gigs? So they tried this as a side gig, and between the beginning of the year and now, they were making $500 a month. They made $500 a month in the coin. So it was just kind of an interesting, this interesting idea to create the People's Network, but then how they in 2019 turned it from a network people weren't being part of to something that people are being part of by incorporating cryptocurrency and proof of coverage into the mix. I thought it was just...
So the altruistic dream wasn't enough. You had to actually incentivize somebody. So
yeah.
And the reason I asked about the low power is I was thinking about the devices, but is the mining taking place on this network as well? Because wouldn't that like destroy the network? Or is it just they're paying through crypto and the mining for the cryptos elsewhere, or is it combined, or what is it?
I think they're doing parts of the mining, because I think the proof of stake here is with the proof of coverage. I think there's some mining going on, but it's very low power, because from what I read, it's only going to take about 5 watts. I think it was a month. So it seems that it too, that whatever they've got is also low power, which makes sense, because if you're going to put something into somebody's house and they're going to share the bandwidth, but you're then going to run up their electric bill, it doesn't help if you're making $500 a month, if you're spending an extra $600 for the electricity rate, that wouldn't be very
good. I don't know if I don't know the technicality of it, but it looks like on a low power you're not going to be able to mine. But the fact that you're using the proof of having that on
coverage,
with the coverage makes sense, because I was looking in cryptocurrency lately, and the application are just crazy. Like, for example, there's one that is called Power Ledger. Not to go back into the green energy grid, but the Power Ledger is actually made by this company that pretty much allows people to resell their energy, the extra energy that they create, as we talked many times in the past. And so each one of these initiatives now, they do have the cryptocurrency. It's almost like it's the law that you have to have that. Like I was looking into a new one the other day. It's called Audius, and it's very popular now. They're talking about it because it's a alternative Spotify, considering everything that's going on there. And of course, I'll actually learn about it because I saw this Audius cryptocurrency, and then I went the other way, and then I discovered that it's actually an independent artist radio, that it's all free, but you can actually pay or contribute to the artist by using the cryptocurrency. So it's an entire new world, but this is the cryptocurrency side, of course. That what is really cool is kind of like this free, like almost like it sounds like a pirate internet, like a 3.0. right? That is not control, and that people just create their own. So that's cool. I must ask what you guys see in terms of security on doing this, because it comes spontaneous, the question.
So speaking of pirate internet, right? Because on the long range, it's these low power devices, but they are hooking this up now into 5G, which could actually make this fully. From again, I'm not an expert in this. I just did some research to be able to talk a little bit. But from what I read, the security aspects of it are staying with the provider, so they're doing.
I see. So you're just amplifying the signal.
Yeah. But
got it.
And I think that the issue outside of just making sure that the signal's there would be if you get into an area that doesn't have coverage, if somebody tried to take somebody else's device out because they were making money because they had better coverage, and that kind of stuff. I think you're right, would have to be looked at.
So not too long ago, there was something proposed by, of course, Amazon, where they were, I don't know if it's active, this thing or not, but it was actually about your devices to become competitors of the signal, so that if your device goes down, I mean, your internet goes down, but next to you, you're using like a camera, like a Ring camera, it could hop on that Wi-Fi, so you're feeding your camera and your camera doesn't go down, which is good. But then there was the whole security thing connected to that. Like, of course, the good and the bad of the story. So Sean, there's always the dark side, and not because I have Darth Vader on my head, but there's always the dark side.
There is, yeah. And I don't know. I was thinking, the first thing that comes to mind is who has access control for the network and the devices and the
turn it off.
It's crossing it, and who's if it's for the people, is the people running it, or I don't know what's the sure there's some technology being used or method to let the traffic flow. And I don't know if it's TCP or whatever it is, but there's something around that, and somebody's controlling that, right? But what I wanted to maybe not focus so much on the security is kind of the use cases. You mentioned a couple, Dan, and I was just thinking, well, what else might this be interesting for? I really like the one of keeping track of perishables and making sure that the temperatures stay within range so that they arrive in good form.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, what is this? A couple things came to mind. First would be sensors in homes to track microclimate.
Yeah.
Might be one. Another, I hate to even go here, but I'm going to anyway. If a sensor is our watch, it could track micro health, outbreaks of flu, measles, whatever else. So I don't know. Maybe the article mentioned others, or maybe you have some other ideas, or Marco, anything?
Well, I didn't know about this, but of course, it always makes me think about there's so much good, and then there is a little bit of bad. And maybe because I'm connecting it to the news that I was thinking about talking today, is the element of trust, like that contract. It's kind of like, the social contract, like, okay, it's the people internet. So it makes me think a lot of, really good intention, the manifesto, and then as it happened in history, the good intention turned out in bad things sometimes. So as long as you can establish that trust level, either because it's a contractual, even through digital currency. I mean, you can do a digital contract there, and if you screw up, you're out. But I think the potential is incredible, and I want to focus on those for once. Like we're always talking about the bad side of things.
That's an interesting thing. So you said digital contracts or crypto contracts, but you use it in the context of currency. I'm just wondering that there's a whole thing there of having some contract that can be enforced. So if you're within the guidelines, you can stay on the network and continue to quote unquote participate and maybe even earn. If you fall out of bounds, if you're an asshole, sorry, your contract's removed. But the next step beyond that is, do you lose the monetary value? Because then becomes an interesting case of, all right, you may not be doing something malicious or intending to be a bad person on this network, but you may not do something right. And so if there's a negative impact, you might take a little extra time to make sure your own network is configured properly and that you're not sharing credentials with your kids so they can play the games that access these sensors that connect to these networks or whatever it is. So there might be an incentive to actually think about this, do the right thing, not just but because you're going to actually keep the money you've made by participating.
Yeah, from a philosophical perspective, what you said, it's kind of that loop again, that the good intention turning into something bad, or this need of freedom and independence. You do things in the name of freedom, but then you realize that if you don't enforce that freedom, the bad actor are going to step in. So somebody's going to have to control. So you end up creating that government entity that it was the first thing that you didn't want to have to start with. So it becomes that loop.
That's a big debate for all of this, right?
But there could be a way that is again, like a digital contract that it's just enforced by respecting the rules. What if it's not an entity that does that, but are the rule itself that automatically if something goes wrong, you're kicked out. Yeah. But then you're going to say, well,
I'm going to hack the rules.
You're going to have to.
You get kicked out, Marco.
Yeah. You're going to have to trust that. And it's getting windy here, so I hope you're not getting that in the microphone. That I'm going to throw this and connect them quickly with the news that I was bringing.
Yeah, bring your news.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly this. So it's an entire. Wow, it's getting windy. I'm gonna fly in a little bit.
Like flying.
As long as you don't hear it, it's pretty bad.
We hear you moving around, avoiding the wind, but not the wind itself.
No, I'm gonna go behind the tree here. I'm gonna go. There you go. No, it's not helping. No. So this is about airplanes, fighter jets, driven by artificial intelligence. And it's a DARPA project that they've been experimenting to the point that now artificial intelligence can dogfight. Not just flying an airplane, dogfighting, which is, the Top Gun stuff that we see, where the rule of engagements are incredibly tough. You're talking about an environment that has 3 dimensions. So it's not just driving a car left, right, and straight. It's about everything changed when you're piloting an airplane, and when you have to make split decision and 3G and fighting against another one that is as smart as you and fast as you. And so the artificial intelligence is getting there, but what they are doing is they're studying how, because they're not just going to have it completely independent and making decision because you're talking about weapons, to always have the supervision of a captain that can control, let's say, a group, a storm of drones, real size airplane drones, and you can decide at a certain point to engage in combat or not, and so forth. And they find out that the biggest problem is not much the intelligence that is getting there and the ability to pilot, but is gaining the trust of the people in charge of artificial intelligence. And that's why I'm bringing it here. Like, it's almost like, why are we not having cars on the street right now that are artificial intelligence driven? I think, as is proven, you can do it, but the government are not going to give it the the complete okay because we are afraid that something is going to go wrong. And I'm going to stop the news here because it's the connection between trust and technology. And that's why I looked to what you were saying, right? I mean, how do you create this trust between the man and the machine where you can gain the trust in small teaspoon and it takes one mistake and one issue to lose a bucket of trust. And then, the single accident of the self-driving car and set back years of deployment. So I love your opinion on this.
Well, I mean, with the case of the self-driving car, it's not just one incident. It's more with the class of problems or failure modes that incident can be indicating. So if you've got a car that isn't seeing a stop sign properly because it's too sunny out, or because the stop sign has graffiti on it, or because somebody has put graphic image stickers on it, it may go through the stop sign because of one of those. It feels like that's one problem. Oh, that stop sign was just too sunny that day. But what it's indicating is that there's a class of failure modes that if there's enough perturbation of change in the stop sign, that the car is just not able to create the context of, oh, I see stop. And in addition to that, what some researchers have done is they've done things like they can just put stickers on a stop sign or spray graffiti on it so that the car misses it. And the impact, right, because risk is always likelihood times impact. So we know the likelihood's pretty high that there could be something that throws the computer vision off in terms of parsing that stop sign properly. But then the impact is so high, i.e. loss of life, human life, somebody walking through the road that the car was supposed to be stopping at, that when you put those two together, it may feel like, oh, we've got all this work and there was just one mistake, but it's actually it's a class of failure modes that haven't been solved for, and the impact is potentially so great, i.e. loss of life, that you step back and say, we're not as far. And I think that's with autonomous driving, is that we're not as far as we'd like to be, in large part because of all of these natural things that come in and interfere with the autonomous vehicle's ability to perform as expected. Actually, in a dogfight, it might be easier because we know we could tune it for it's a certain kind of weather or the wind patterns or something. But if you think about every car in the world driving, think of all the different, the different light situations, the graffiti that can be on it, the wear pattern of the signs itself, or the lines in the road. There's a lot that autonomous cars really have to contend with, that our world is just really not designed. And a much smarter person in this than I was asking them this exact question. Somebody who's very high up in one of the very large car companies. I said, how soon? And the response was, not for years and years, unless we redo the roads. If we redo the roads, then yes, then we can do it very quickly. But if we don't redo the roads, long.
And how many roads would we need to redo, or do we just create new ones? And let's bulldoze some houses and create new roads for
eminent domain. Get rid of them. Yeah, or maybe we could just do highways, right? I mean, so we drive on the rural roads, which have a lot of problems with, the lines not being drawn properly, or, fading and things. I'm not implying that the lines were misdrawn. I meant, they faded, they crumbled away with wear.
The question is, when enough is enough?
Well, it's situational.
You just want an autonomous car?
Marco does, I think, yeah. Well, I think you make some extremely important points, Diana. And
we lost him.
I think he's muted, but that's all right.
It's just windy here.
It's windy, so he's muting.
That's why I muted it. But my point is, how many accidents? When do you balance the human error that still happens, the machine error, and you finally say, maybe it's better to have the car drive themselves. That's when I said enough is enough.
Well, it's interesting that you're bringing that perspective, because I think on pretty much every other conversation that we have, it's like, why are we pushing technology so fast?
Right now we play console it.
So I think
I'm going the other way around today.
There you go. There's one big difference between the two, cars and fighter jets, because I think the ultimate goal with cars is to move precious cargo, people and other things.
Yeah.
And I think the ultimate goal with the fighter jet, I would think, is to not have a human in there. Why put that? Why put the human at risk if so? Maybe to your point of trust, they don't trust losing the investment of that plane, so they stick a person in there to make sure everything goes right, and with extreme failures, so the plane doesn't crash, and hopefully the human can save themselves at the same time. But I think it's different because ultimately the plane is going to fly itself, right? And whether it needs to be full size that can hold a person and do all the other stuff that goes on with the pilot inside, or if it's just computers and weapons, it may look very different. And I don't know, maybe configured to fly in a different way. Maybe there's night ones versus day ones. Maybe there's rain versus dry ones, and they get deployed based on the use case. And it's not built for every situation necessarily. I think we see a lot of things purpose built now, and especially when we talk about AI, we see a lot of algorithms built for specific use cases that might be applicable to something else, but maybe not for the grand AI. Everything's under one AI world that I think we often picture.
Yeah, like a big general AI Skynet or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, no, the point here, and I'll talk after the wind doesn't pick up again. I mean, more than what it is. But the thing is, there's two angles here. One is that the AI is getting so good that can dogfight. And the other one is that it has to win the trust of the people in order to be applied. And so I kind of want the other way around. I mean, on a commercial flight, there's no question that when the pilot, needs the help of the AI, landing in a really bad visual condition or in a storm or anything like that, there's no questions about it. But the level of the dogfighting is that split decision that a machine can make so much faster than a pilot, even the most experienced one, and it could make the difference between winning or losing, a jet fight. So, but still, they need to conquer the trust of those in charge, that they know what it means to fly in a plane. So that it's kind of something to think about.
Well, I still have a hard time getting my head wrapped around why we would have dogfights in the first place. But anyway.
All right, Grillster, what's grilling?
Griller. All right. I know we're gonna cut it here in a minute. So thankfully mine's quick, and it's AI for barbecues.
Ooh.
I don't know if there's AI in it. Nah, what I found is lame, and I'm extremely pleased to bring this. It's for using our brand name, it's the Roomba for your barbecue.
Okay.
So it's the grill cleaner.
Oh, so you don't have to do the scrubby.
Has little wheels, and
I love it.
Kind of goes around. I don't know. This is one of those technologies. Do we really need it? Maybe. I don't know. I guess grills. It was timely because it was a big grilling weekend, right? For people who can get outside and
because of the puppy bowl. The
puppy bowl, exactly.
Yeah.
Grilling hot dogs.
Yeah. Exactly.
Veggie dogs.
Veggie dogs for the puppy bowl. That we do that.
Yeah. So, I guess the technology is not new, but it's the application of it And yeah, I didn't expect us to spend a lot of time on this, obviously, but it was something that was interesting. So the question is it a gimmick? Does it provide value? It doesn't really say. It's a tweet post, so it doesn't really say much in terms of how much it's analyzing. It talks more about the batteries and then it and has the bristles to clean and things like that.
I would get it if it was the right price, because trying to scrub out the grill itself is really time consuming. You never get it quite clean, and after a few years, right, you end up having to get a new one. So if you could just finish your cooking, wait till I guess you need to do cool, and then you put your little bot down and it does its thing. I like it. I don't see a downside to that unless it's really expensive.
So we're cool without any question about an artificial intelligence that clean your grill, but we're not going to give it a $2 billion jet.
Right. That sums it up. Yeah.
Is that what we're doing? AI at the end?
I want the grill cleaner to make my grill fly like a jet. I don't know if that's going to happen.
There you go.
Can your grill dogfight is the question.
That's right.
Let's talk about the capacity of AI. I mean, what kind of intelligence do you really need to do that, or clean the floor versus, flying a jet that 4Gs and fighting crazy maneuver? Which at the end, I look at that. I mean, honestly, I like you said, I'd rather not have jet fights or war in general. But when you think about the application of the artificial intelligence, be able to do something like that, and then you think about who is going to fly the spaceships that we're going to use to go to Mars or to explore the universe, it's quite impressive, the things that we can already achieve. So that's the good news there. And then if we don't do war, I'm better off myself. Yeah, for sure.
War against dirty grill. What are those called? Grill grates. War against dirty grill grates.
There we go.
So Sean, you know about food, but growing up, I heard people say you never clean the grill. Have you ever heard that? Because it kind of get disinfected on its own when you burn it.
Yeah.
What's your theory on that?
Depends how lazy you are. Yeah, there are different schools of thought. I mean, some pans, cast iron pans and griddles, I think you kind of what is it called? Season. They right. Season. I don't know. Depends what you're cooking. I'm certainly not a scientist to know where things could go bad, but I'm thinking maybe an undercooked piece of chicken left on there might not be good. Or let's be honest, what you put on in food may not be the only thing on there. Cockroaches come to mind. I remember being away for months when I lived not far from where you are right now, Marco, up in the mountains. I came back to a barbecue that served as a primary home for a bunch of rats. They crawled up in there and
Awesome.
Now you're kind of crossing the line there.
We've had possums.
Yeah. So even if they don't set up house, they certainly go in and have a nibble. And so if you don't clean the grill,
so a little bit of possum poop.
That's right.
What does it look like? Is it a little spider that just goes through it, or is it a big machine? What is it?
It looks the size of, if I had to guess. I'm just looking at the video here again. Maybe the size of a frisbee, and it's round. It's round in diameter, or it's round, circular in diameter, or circular, and kind of fits like this. Assuming you can see my hand, so it fits in there. Three bristles.
And it kind of go like in a rail.
They're kind of it's kind of spinning like. It has three rotating bristles on the bottom.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I was not seeing that at all. I was thinking like one of those little hex bugs, but that kind of grabbed onto each one of the metal. But it would just go from one end of the spoke to the other and then move. And I didn't think of it as like spinning.
Yeah, so I don't know how effective it is just kind of rambling around hoping to get in between. So it may not be, maybe effective is not the right word. Although that could be a question as well, but efficient.
Yeah, there you go.
If you're going straight in between, it might be a little more efficient than if you're just kind of spinning around and not catching every in between spot correctly. So it might take 2 or 3 times as long. I don't know.
Although you think that they probably engineer. I'd be interested in the engineering because they must have designed this to be as effective as possible and efficient as possible.
Yeah.
So maybe if it was like a little hex bug kind of thing, it takes too long or it doesn't balance, whereas this thing balances.
It might get stuck because it seems like this.
Yeah.
It has to stay on top to move around a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and also, Diana, I don't know which kind of grill you're picturing because it's showing it in a grill that's charcoal, like the kind of the basin ones.
Yep.
With the coal, but it also shows it on a gas one that are more rectangular.
I was thinking the charcoal ones because that's.
But doesn't need to be intelligence. What does the intelligence bring to cleaning the grill? That's not big. I mean,
how does it know when it's done?
Mechanical adoption. Oh, it sounds like intelligence. One of those, let's use artificial intelligence in your toothbrush. So maybe it's gonna find out where your cavity is. Now that's good. Why don't you add a toothbrush? It tells you if you have a cavity before it becomes too big. But again, what's the advantage of the artificial intelligence on cleaning the grill? I'm not so sure. But yeah, maybe it's gonna help some other.
Yeah. Or just when it's exactly what Sean said. How do you know when it's clean?
Yeah.
That's the intelligence. It's now sparkling. My
right.
work here is complete.
That's right.
All right. Yeah, I can see that. Otherwise, it's just gonna stop when you have to stop it, or it has to stop when you actually run out of battery, or you have to put a timer, which might be too early and it's not clean.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if it can
sounds like my wash machine that it just left. My dishwasher doesn't clean the dishes sometimes, and I have to do it by hand. And I'm like, what's the point? I wish you were intelligent. And now I know that I'm onto something because, see, conversation. That helps. Love it.
Well, it needs to know when it alerts you.
You need to know when to stop. That's the key.
Exactly.
Enough is
wisdom.
Enough.
Artificial wisdom.
That's right.
that we need it. And with that one, if somebody can invent some artificial wisdom, I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. All righty then. Sean, I think this is the last time I feel like, like when you watch those guys and gals straight from the heart of the hurricane or in Florida right before I had to come around and find this.
You need your Weather Channel jacket on?
Yeah, it's a beautiful view, but I'm dealing with this. So that was fun. I loved it. It's something different.
It's the afternoon wind coming through. That's the wind shifts.
You could have a lot of fun sailing right now, Sean.
That's right.
Huh?
Yeah.
Make it to the island quickly with the nice blow of wind there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Good time. Good memories there too. Yeah, good memories for sure. All righty.
Right.
I think we're good, and we have some news, but we decided that it's too early. So maybe people want to stay tuned the next episodes, which may also be just 2 of us or 2 of you, or
two of you, or
one sounds like a song from the 80s.
One of not me.
2 of 2.
Only 2 of us. Wasn't that a song? Like
just the 2 of us.
Just the 2 of us.
Sing it, Marco. Sing it.
No.
Sing us out.
No, I'm gonna pass it now.
All right. I think the audience thinks it's.
No. Thank you.
Don't worry, folks. I have the mute button ready if he starts.
I'm not gonna sing. All right, I think I'm gonna go enjoying a drive through the canyon, and
you enjoy the drive. Don't dogfight on the way back.
Happy Pup Bowl, everybody.
Happy Puppy Bowl. Yes, enjoy the clean barbecues, everyone that bought one of those fancy devices. And new tech.
Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Enjoy everything. Enjoy life.
If your
Enjoy
team is
technology.
playing.
Enjoy technology responsibly. That's it.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, I'm taking us out. See y'all next week.
Take us out. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Blue Lava is the first business platform for CISOs to manage their security program. Blue Lava guides security leaders to effectively measure, optimize, and communicate their security program with confidence and ease in one platform. Learn more at bluelava.net. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Through the TechVine podcast. If you learned something new and this podcast made you think, then share itspmagazine.com with your friends, family, and colleagues. If you represent a company and wish to associate your brand with our conversations, sponsor one or more of our podcast channels. We hope you will come back for more stories and follow us on our journey. You can always find us at the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society.